I signed away my soul that rainy afternoon in '09, framing myself for the fraud that should have buried my husband 6 feet under. 15 years later, I walked out of Sing Sing with nothing but a grudge and a dead man's secrets, ready to drag him back from the grave he'd clawed his way out of. But the real shock? He was waiting for me at the gates, smiling like the prodigal wife had come home. The Greyhound rattled like a tin can on steroids as it barreled down I-87 toward Albany, the Hudson River a muddy smear outside the grimy window. I'd bought the ticket with my first parole check, $47.32 after taxes, and a fake ID that said Elena Vasquez because Clara Hawthorne was a ghost now, erased by orange jumpsuits and razor wire fences. My hands, calloused from laundry shifts and prison yard brawls, twisted the hem of my thrift store hoodie. 15 years. That's what they gave me for embezzling $12 million from Hawthorne Investments, the firm I'd built brick by digital brick while Jack played golf with senators and betted interns.
Jack.
God. Even thinking his name tasted like battery acid. We'd met at Columbia. Him the silver spoon poli-sci kid with a trust fund and a grin that could disarm a bomb. I was the scholarship girl from Queens, coding algorithms in the library stacks, dreaming of Wall Street glory. We built an empire together, or so I thought. By 2008, Hawthorne was a mid-tier powerhouse, managing pensions for firefighters and tech bros alike. Then the crash hit, and Jack's side investments tanked. Crypto before crypto was cool, he called it. Ponzi adjacent, the feds later whispered. But I took the fall.
Why?
Because when the auditors came knocking, Jack handed me the ledger, the one with my forged signatures, my access codes, my goddamn fingerprints from the nights I'd stayed late, fixing glitches. For us, Clara, he'd sobbed in our brownstone kitchen, eyes wet as a kicked puppy. They'll go easy on you. Women get sympathy. I'll lawyer up, get you out in 5.
Lies.
All of it. The affair with that paralegal, the offshore accounts he'd funneled the real money into. He walked away with a slap on the wrist, cooperating witness, and I got the supermax sentence. Prison? It's not the showers or the shank fights that break you. It's the whispers. Hawthorne's the bitch who stole widows' nests. I learned to fight dirty, to read a room like a poker tell. By year 3, I was running numbers for the guards, skimming just enough to buy smokes and silence. Year 7, I hacked the warden's email on a smuggled burner, nothing fancy. Just enough to know Jack had remarried.
To her.
The paralegal. And they'd bought a $2.8 million co-op in Tribeca with my blood money. The bus lurched to a stop at the Albany station, a concrete bunker smelling of piss and stale coffee. I stepped off into the chill December wind, my duffel bag slung over one shoulder like a noose. No one was there. No tearful reunion. No yellow ribbon. Just the hum of traffic and a payphone that looked like it had seen better decades. I dialed the only number I had, my old mentor,
Sal.
Now retired in Florida, but still wired into the street. Clara?
Jesus. Kid.
You sound like gravel. Where you at? Albany. Need wheels and a bed. No questions. He chuckled. That raspy smoker's hack. Will's a '98 Civic. Rust bucket but runs. Bed's a flea bag in Schenectady. Questions? Only one. You coming for him? I hung up without answering. The Civic waited in the lot.
Keys under the mat.
A burner phone on the seat with a sticky note. Burn after reading. J's in NYC. Address attached. Watch your 6. Sal knew me too well. Revenge wasn't a maybe, it was oxygen. 2 hours later, I pulled into Schenectady's outskirts, the Adirondacks looming like judgmental gods in the twilight. The motel was a neon scar on Route 5, vacancy sign flickering like a dying heartbeat. Room 12, peeling wallpaper, a bed that sagged like defeat, and a TV bolted to the wall playing infomercials for Miracle Slicers. I locked the door, drew the curtains, and unpacked. One outfit, a switchblade from a yard sale, and a USB drive Sal had slipped in the glove box. Insurance, the note said. I plugged it into the motel's ancient laptop, borrowed from the front desk for a 20, and watched the files bloom. Emails. Transfers. Photos.
Jack.
Grinning at his wedding to Vanessa, the paralegal, with a cake topper that read Second Chances. And there, buried in a subfolder labeled Loose Ends, the real ledger. Not the fake I'd signed. The one showing Jack's solo dives into insider trading, bribing regulators, even a slush fund for that senator's re-election. $12 million?
Peanuts.
He'd skimmed double that, laundering it through Shell Corp in the Caymans. But the gut punch? A video. Grainy cell footage from my trial. Jack on the stand, perjuring his ass off. Clara acted alone. I had no idea. Cut to him in a hotel room post-testimony, popping champagne with Vanessa. She's done.
Babe.
We're golden. I smashed the laptop screen with my fist, glass spiderwebbing like my veins. Blood dripped onto the keys, mixing with tears I hadn't shed since sentencing. Not yet. Not until he felt it. Dawn broke gray and unforgiving. I drove south, the Civic's heater wheezing like an asthmatic chain smoker. By noon, I was in the city, parking in a garage off Canal Street and melting into the pedestrian crush. Tribeca's lofts mocked me with their exposed brick and artisanal bullshit, coffee shops slinging $9 lattes to influencers who'd never known a real hunger. Jack's building was a fortress, doorman in a livery that screamed old money. Keycard entry. Cameras winking like conspirators. I couldn't just waltz in. Not as Clara. Elena Vasquez, it was Puerto Rican nanny from Jersey. Here for an interview. I'd lifted the accent from a cellmate. The backstory from a dog-eared romance novel. The doorman buzzed me up after a 5-minute grill. Vanessa was expecting help, apparently. Mommy needed more time for yoga and brunches. The penthouse elevator dinged like a guillotine. Vanessa answered in yoga pants and a silk robe, her blonde bob perfect as a step-forward drone. You must be Elena.
Come in.
The nursery's this way. Nursery. Jesus. They'd popped out a kid.
A boy.
From the blue balloons bobbing in the hall. She led me through a gallery of lies. Wedding photos. Jack in a tux that cost more than my prison commissary for a year. Art on the walls, Warhols, knockoffs probably, but still stinging. The nursery was a pastel prison, crib like a throne, mobiles spinning lazy dreams. The kid, Jack Jr. Why not? Gurgled in his playpen, fat fists waving like tiny surrender flags. Clara?
No.
Elena. But Vanessa's eyes narrowed, then widened in recognition. Not full, parole photos circulate in tabloids, but this was the flicker of a ghost story come alive. I forced the smile.
Elena. Mom.
From the agency. She blinked, shook it off.
Right.
He's down for his nap soon. Just keep an eye out. Jack's been stressed with work. Work.
Hawthorne Investments.
Now a beast under his sole reign, swallowing competitors like a python post-meal. I nodded, playing the part, while my mind mapped the layout, safe in the study behind the Rothko fake. Wine cellar off the kitchen, perfect for a spill. Master bath with that clawfoot tub where I'd once soaked off deadlines. By evening, Jack was home. I heard the elevator, the jangle of keys, his voice booming like thunder in a canyon. Honey.
Holy shit.
Who's this? Vanessa. Plating salmon at the island. Elena. The new nanny. Starting tonight. He froze in the foyer. Burberry coat half off. His face a mass cracking at the edges. Grayer at the temples. Lines etched like fault lines around those blue eyes. But the grin, oh. That grin snapped back. Predatory and polished.
Anna.
Welcome to the madhouse. Rough day at the office. I curtsied. Mock deference. Wouldn't know.
Sir.
Just here for the little one. His laugh was a bark. Smart girl. Dinner's on us.
Stay.
I did. Through the small talk, Vanessa prattling about preschool waitlists, Jack name-dropping clients like dick pics at a frat party. He watched me,
though,
side-eye over his Bordeaux, probing like a dentist with a drill. I served the kid his mush, changed a diaper with hands that had once closed million-dollar deals, and waited. Bedtime came. Junior. Out cold. Vanessa in her wine stupor. Scrolling Zillow for vacation homes. Jack cornered me in the hall. Whiskey breath hot on my neck. You look familiar.
Elena.
Ever done time? My pulse thrummed like a bass line in a dive bar. Time? Like overtime?
Nah, sir.
Fresh off the boat from Newark. He leaned closer. Cologne cutting through the lie. Newark.
Huh?
Sounds like bullshit. Try again. The switchblade was in my sock. A whisper away. But not yet. Revenge wasn't a shank in the dark. It was a scalpel. Slow and surgical. Maybe I remind you of someone.
X.
Maybe. They say we all got doubles. He chuckled. Low and dangerous. Exes are ghosts. Sweetheart. And ghosts don't nanny. He clapped my shoulder, harder than friendly, and sauntered to the study. I slipped into the kitchen, heart hammering. The USB was in my bra, a talisman against the urge to smash his Scotch decanter over his skull. Phase 1, plant the seed. I hacked his desktop, easy. Same password as our wedding date, uploading the real ledger to a dummy cloud account.
Then,
an email draft in his outbox. Van, we need to talk about the old Hawthorne mess. Feds sniffing again.
Send?
Not yet. Let it simmer. That night, in the guest room, nanny quarters, what a joke. I lay awake, the city pulse throbbing through the walls. Dreams came in fragments. Jack's testimony. The gavel's crack. My mother's funeral I watched via prison Skype. Cancer. Untreated because I couldn't wire the cash. She died whispering. Forgive him. Clara. Men break easy. Forgive? I'd choke on the word. Week 1 blurred into surveillance. I shadowed Junior. To Central Park playdates. Pushing the stroller like a Trojan horse. Jack's routine. 6 a.m. gym. 8 a.m. board meetings via Zoom. Lunch at Le Bernardine with venture capitalists. Vanessa? Pilates at noon. Then charity lunches, code for martinis with society widows. She suspected me. I could tell. Whispers to Jack at night. Doors ajar. She stares too much. Like she knows. He'd soothe her. Paranoia.
Babe.
Old ghosts. But ghosts bite back. On day 5, I accidentally left the TV on CNN during nap time. A segment on white-collar recidivism, featuring a blurry shot of my release photo. Vanessa walked in, froze. Turn that off. I feigned innocence. Scary stuff.
Huh?
People getting out and going right back. Her eyes drilled mine. Some people deserve it.
Touché.
By week 2, the cracks showed. Jack's emails, monitored via a keylogger I'd slipped into his phone charger, frenzy with lawyer consults. Hawthorne 2.0 audit incoming. Bury the Caymans deeper. Vanessa's browser history, searches for Clara Hawthorne now and parole violations NYC. I upped the ante. During a nanny night out, Vanessa's idea? To bond. I spiked her rose with a sleep aid from the corner bodega. Nothing lethal. Just enough for loose lips. Over tapas in Soho. She slurred. Jack. He changed after you. The trial. Said it broke him.
Me.
Sipping club soda. Broke how? Took the blame off himself. Cooperated. But the money. It was always his game. I leaned in. Elena's accent thickening. Sounds heavy. You ever wonder if he hid more? Her head lolled. Like what? The kid?
No.
Junior Sours.
Ours.
The word twisted like barbed wire. DNA test? Already done. Courtesy of a bribed lab, tech, Sal knew. 99.9% match. Jack Spawn. My almost stepson. Now a pawn in the board I'd append. The real play came on a Friday. Firm-wide happy hour. Jack left early, claiming a migraine. But I knew better. Burner text to a consultant in D.C. I tucked Junior in. Told Vanessa I was stepping out for smokes. And tailed him instead. The Civic blended into traffic like a shadow. He ended up at a dive in Hell's Kitchen. The kind with peanut shells and regret on tap. Met a guy in a trench coat fed from the stance. Bribe payoff. Blackmail insurance? I parked across the street, recording audio through a cracked window app on the burner. Ledger's clean, trench coat said. But Hawthorne's ex? She's out. Could talk. Jack's laugh. Hello. Clara's a junkie now. Parole says she's clean, but streets eat em alive. She comes sniffing. I bury her deeper.
Deeper.
The word echoed my sentencing. I gripped the wheel till knuckles whitened, the blade's hilt digging into my ankle.
Drive by?
Tempting. But no, too quick. Too merciful. Back at the penthouse, Vanessa was pacing, phone in hand. Where were you? Smokes. Rough night. She thrust the screen at me, a Google alert. My face splashed across it. Elena's not real. You're her. Clara fucking Hawthorne. The mask slipped. No point now. I dropped the accent. Voice steel. Bingo. Miss me? She lunged, not for the phone, but the kitchen drawer. Knives gleamed.
Jack.
Get in here. He burst from the study. Ty askew. Eyes wild. Clara? What the?
Surprise.
Honey. I held up the USB, dangling like a noose. Brought slides. The standoff stretched. Junior's cries filtering from the nursery like a siren's wail. Vanessa clutched the knife.
Trembling.
Jack stepped forward, hands placating. Let's talk. Like adults. You want money? A cut? Name it. I laughed, bitter as black coffee. Money? I want your world to burn.
Jack.
The one you built on my back. He flipped then, charmed to venom in a heartbeat. You think you're the victim? That fraud? It saved us. The crash would have tanked everything. I did it for you, liar. I tossed the USB at his feet. Play it. The real story.
He didn't.
Instead, he lunged, grabbing my wrist. Vanessa screamed, knife slashing air. We grappled, me. Prison tough, him. Gym soft. The blade bit my forearm, shallow but stinging. Blood slicked the marble floor. Stop, Junior's wail peaked. Sanity cracked. I kneed Jack in the groin, grabbed the USB, and bolted for the door. Elevator down. Heart exploding. Sirens wailed distant. Neighbor call? Cops en route? The Civic roared to life. Tires screeching onto Varick Street. Blood soaked my sleeve, but adrenaline numbed it. Phase 2. Leak the files. Anonymous drop to the Times. SSC. Even that podcaster who loved white-collar whack jobs. By midnight, it was done. The ledger, the video, the perjury transcript Sal had dug up. Dawn found me in a Jersey motel, stitching my arm with a travel kit. News alerts buzzed. Hawthorne Investments implodes, founder accused of decade-long fraud. Jack's face. Ashen. On every channel. Vanessa's tearful statement. We had no idea. Liar. She knew enough.
But the twist?
A voicemail from Sal. Timestamped 3 a.m. Kid. Hold up. Dug deeper. That senator? He wasn't just a client. Your ma's cancer doc? Bribed to botch treatment. Jack paid to keep her quiet about his affair.
Yeah. But also,
You knew. Clara. Subconsciously. Those glitches you fixed? You coded the diversions.
no.
Bullshit. I checked the drive, there. An email chain. My login. My approvals. Forged?
Or,
Complicit? I'd signed off late nights. Half drunk on his promises. Turning blind eyes. The feds picked me up at noon. Not for the leak, protected source, but for the assault charge. Vanessa's 911. Intruder. Armed. Jack visited in holding. Separated by plexi. Smiling again. That goddamn grin.
see?
We're even now. You burn me. You burn too. But the kid. He's innocent. Junior. My almost. The decision. Testify against him.
Full immunity.
Or take the accessory hit. 5 more years. I chose the gray. Leaked more. The senator's ties. The doc's license yanked. Jack flipped state's evidence, again, trading up the chain. Vanessa got custody. Vanished to the Hamptons.
Me?
Plea deal. House arrest in Queens. The old family walk-up. Months later. Parole hearing. Sal testified. Clara's clean. Rebuilt. They bought it.
Now?
I consult freelance. Ethical hacks for nonprofits. Junior. Visit Summers. Calling me Aunt Elena. He looks like Jack. But his laugh?
Mine.
Was it revenge? Justice? Or just trading one cage for another? Jack rots in Otisville. Writing letters I burn unread. Vanessa sues for defamation. loses. The world debates, villain or victim.
Me?
I sleep sound, but the mirror shows scars on skin. In soul. Echoes fade. But grudges? They hum eternal. The house arrest ankle monitor chafed like a bad conscience. Its green light blinking judgment with every step across the warped linoleum of my queen's apartment. Mom's old place, formica counters scarred from decades of Irish stews. Radiator hissing like a resentful snake. I'd traded Tribeca penthouse for this walk-up tomb. But freedom's a relative bitch. 6 months in, and the walls closed tighter than Sing Sing's rec yard. Junior's visits were the lifeline. Vanessa dropped him off Saturdays, her Mercedes idling curbside like a getaway car, eyes hidden behind Ray-Bans. 1 hour, she'd snap through the window, as if I were the monster under his bed.
But the kid?
He barreled in like a freight train, all sticky hugs and Aunt Elena. Show me the computer tricks. I'd set him up on the second-hand Dell, teaching him basic Python loops and if-thens, the logic that'd save my sanity in the joint. See, buddy? Codes like magic. You tell it what to do, and poof, world bends. He'd giggle, fingers fat on the keys. Oblivious to the irony, I'd bent the world once, for a man who snapped it back. Jack's letters started week 3. Mailed to occupant, but the scrawl was his lawyerly loops, reeking of prison issue ink. First one, Clara, I get it. You hate me. But read this. For the boy. Enclosed, a photo of Junior. At 3. Birthday cake smeared on his face. Jack's arm around him. Backside note. I never stopped loving you. The lies. They protected us all. Protected. The word festered. I shredded it. Fed the strips to the East River on a supervised walk. But curiosity's a virus. By letter 5, I cracked. Stationery yellowed. Words frantic. The doc?
Yeah.
I paid her. But not to botch. To cover the affair, your ma found out. Threatened to tell. Cancer was bad luck.
And you.
Those signatures? You clicked approve half asleep. But it was me forging the rest. We were partners.
Clara.
In crime.
Partners.
The myth we'd sold ourselves. I cross-checked with the drive's files, yes. My timestamps. But his IP bounces. Complicit? Sure. But the architect? Him. The feds circled closer. Agent Ruiz, sharp-eyed Latina with a Brooklyn bite, popped by bi-weekly, coffee in hand like we were gal pals. Hawthorne singing.
Hawthorne.
Names dropping like confetti. Senators indicted.
Doc's license gone.
You flipped too? We wiped the slate. I sipped my own Joe, Maxwell House, not the artisanal swill. Flip how? He's already gutted.
She leaned in.
Voice low. The slush fund. Firefighters' pensions? Half went to PACs. But the rest. Untraced. You hack it open. We call it even.
Hat.
The siren call. I'd sworn off. Post-prison purity test. But for clean? For Junior. Not growing up whispering felon aunt. Nights blurred into code binges. Monitors beat my metronome. I burrowed through shells, tore nodes, VPN chains, unraveling the knot. $6 million.
Funneled to.
A clinic? In Haiti? Wait. No, a domestic front. Buried under Hawthorne Charitable Trust. Mom's old neighborhood clinic, the one that had bankrupted after her diagnosis. Jack's donation? Laundered guilt. Twist of the knife. He'd played philanthropist with stolen nests. Ruiz got her drop, coordinates, accounts, the works. Indictments snowballed. Jack's comms cut off solitary.
They said. Good.
But Vanessa? She escalated. Cease and desist via courier. Accusing me of parental alienation. Junior. Stopped coming. He's scared, her email read. Of you.
Scared.
Of the ghost nanny with the knife scar. I lawyered up, pro bono, from a women's advocacy group. Iron-willed broad named Lena, who'd done time for arson. Righteous. She claimed. Custody petition filed. Aunt status. Supervised. But a foot in the door. Court date loomed. A sweltering July in family court.
Bronx.
The room smelled of sweat and despair, crying babies. Fidgeting dads in ill-fit suits. Vanessa glided in. Power suit crisp. Lawyer a shark in pinstripes.
Me?
Scrubs from a temp gig at a bodega. Lena at my elbow like a pit bull. Her shark opened. MS. Hawthorne's history speaks fraud, assault, instability. The child fears her. Lena rose. Slow burn. Fear? From tabloid poison. MS. Hawthorne's reformed, consulting ethically, mentoring kids in code. And the father's rot? Exposed by her. Saving pensions. Judge, a grizzled Italian with bingo doe eyes, peered over specs. MS. Hawthorne.
Speak.
I stood, throat dry as dust. Your Honor. I ain't saint. Did time for sins mine and his.
But Junior?
He's light in the dark. I teach him right from wrong. Not like his dad taught me. Vanessa snorted. Shark objected. Sustained. But the kicker, Junior. Himself. Via video link from a child psych. Big eyes. Voice tiny. I miss Annalena. She shows me games. Daddy's gone.
Mon ami sad.
Can she come? The room tilted. Vanessa's mask cracked, lip quiver. Hand to mouth. Judge adjourned. Ruled next week. That night. Blackout drunk on rail vodka. I dreamed of the brownstone kitchen. Oh, 8. Jack's proposal, not the ring. The frame. Sign here.
Clara.
Trust me.
Idilauga.
Pecked his cheek. Clicked enter.
Partners.
Morning brought a knock, not Ruiz. Not Lena. Trench coat from the dive. Unmarked sedan outside. Mr. Hawthorne requests a meet. Neutral ground.
No wires.
Curiosity. That virus again. I went. Riker's visiting room. Sterile as a morgue. Jack behind glass.
Gaunt.
Jumpsuit hanging loose.
No green.
Just eyes. Hollowed. Clara. Voice crackle over speaker. You won. Everything. One. Junior's visits hang by a thread. You're rotting. He leaned forward. The clinic. You found it. That was for your ma. After she died. Guilt ate me. The rest, the fraud. The lies, it spiraled.
But you?
You were clean. I made sure the feds saw it that way. Liar. But doubt wormed in. Check the last file. Sent to Sal. It's yours. I didn't. Not then. Why now? Cause Junior. Needs you. Vanessa. She's cracking. Pills.
Booze.
I see it in mail. You're the steady one.
Steady.
The irony burned.
Me.
The fall girl. The vengeful specter. Back in Queens. Sal's package waited. FedEx. No return. The file. Audio. Mom's voice. Weak but fierce. On a hospital recorder. Jack. You tell Clara. The affair. The money. Don't let her carry it. His reply. Muffled. I won't.
Ma.
Promise. She'd known.
Confronted him.
Cancer silenced her before trial. Tears came then. Hot and unbidden. Not forgiveness, never that. But context. A shade in the black and white revenge reel. Court day 2. Judge ruled and status. Unsupervised after 6 months. Vanessa stormed out. Heels clacking fury. Junior. Hug me post-hearing. Whispering. Told ya.
Aunt Elena.
Magic. Magic.
Code.
Maybe redemption's just a better algorithm. But Jack's last letter slipped in with Junior's drawings. We're even.
Partner.
Burn this. I did. In the sink. Watching flames dance. Echoes quieter now. Fall crept in like a thief. Leaves turning Queens into a rust-hued postcard I never asked for. Junior's visits stretched to weekends, overnights after the psych eval cleared me, and the apartment transformed. His toys cluttered the coffee table, Legos building shaky towers. A drone I'd jury-rigged from bodega parts buzzing the ceiling. Higher. Ann Elena, he'd yell. And I'd laugh. The sound foreign in my throat. Vanessa's ceasefire was uneasy. Text clipped. Pick up 5 p.m. No politics. Politics, code for Jack talk. She was suing the estate now. Clawing for assets frozen in forfeiture. For the boy, her lawyer claimed. Bullshit. For the lifestyle. The brunches. The illusion of untarnished gold.
Me?
I worked gigs, remote Penteus for startups. Lena's connections greasing wheels. Pay was shit. But clean.
Nos a dos.
Ruiz checked in monthly. Badge glinting like a warning. Stay straight.
Hawthorne.
World's watching. Watching.
Yeah.
The podcaster, some millennial with a man bun and a Patreon, dropped an episode. Clara Hawthorne, fall girl or femme fatale? Listeners debated in the comments. She deserved it. Greedy bitch. Jack's puppet master. Poor thing. I tuned out after the third, empowered survivor trope. Empowerment? Felt like quicksand. Sal called from Boca. Voice gravel over static. Kid. You see the news? Senator flipped. Naming names, yours ain't one. Good. Good. I paced the kitchen. Junior. Napping in the next room. Means Jack's still holding cards.
Nah.
Means he's protecting you. That audio? Your ma's wish. He honored it. In his fucked up way. Honored. The words stuck like burrs. I dug the last file, mailed copy. Unburned. More audio, trial prep. Jack coaching his testimony. Make it stick. Counselor. Clara takes the hit. But light. No hard time. Then. Off mic. To himself. Sorry.
Babe. Babe.
The pet name from Lazy Sundays. Pre-crash. I hurled the drive at the wall. Plastic cracking. Junior. Stirred. Whimpering. Auntie. Bad dream.
Kiddo.
Go back. But dreams were my turf now. Nightmares of the penthouse grapple, Vanessa's knife, Jack's grip, blood pooling like spilled Merlot. Woke sweating. Monitors beep a heartbeat echo. The escalation hit mid-October. Junior came with a bruise, fading purple on his shin. From soccer, he mumbled. Vanessa's drop-off rushed. Eyes red-rimmed.
He's fine.
Practice was rough. Rough. Like her grip on the wheel. White-knuckled. I let it slide, custody fragile, but filed a note with Lena. Watch her. Week later.
Ruiz unannounced.
Face storm cloud. Vanessa Hawthorne.
DUI last night. Kid in the car.
Blood alcohol double limit. My gut dropped. Junior. Bruised.
Scared.
CPS involved. You're on the list, emergency contact. Emergency. The word propelled me to family court. Lena in tow. Junior. In foster temp till hearing. He clung to me in the waiting room. Sticky fingers twisting my shirt. Mommy cried. Said Daddy's fault. Daddy's. The ghost haunting us all. Hearing was a circus. Vanessa's shark spinning, stress from scandal, her perched like a wilted lily. Mascara tracks fresh. CPS rep. No-nonsense black woman. Mothers unstable. Fathers incarcerated. Aunts reformed. Employed. Stable. Shark countered. History of violence. Assault on MS. Hawthorne. Lena, self-defense. Intruder in her own life. Judge different this time. A harried Asian guy with a stack of files eyed me. MS. Hawthorne. Intentions. To keep him safe. Simple.
True.
Ruling. Temporary custody to me. Pending evals. Vanessa's wail echoed down the hall as they let her out. That night. Junior. In my bed. Too big for the crib. Too small for the world. Mumbled prayers I'd taught. God bless Mommy. Daddy.
Aunt Elena.
I stroked his hair. Jack's curls. And whispered back. And the ghosts we bury. Ghosts resurfaced.
Though.
Jack's lawyer, a weasel I'd met in '09, phoned collect from Otisville. Client wants to meet. For the boy.
Why?
Testimony. He's got dirt on Vanessa, pills, not just booze. Oxy from the doc's old script. Traded favors. Favors. The web tightened. I went. Rikers again. Jack thinner. Eyes fever bright. Clara. You're raising him. Trying. Good. She's poison now. Like I was.
Pause.
Speaker hum. The twist? That fund, the clinic, half was for you. Post-prison slush. If you stayed clean. But you torched it all.
Torched.
My leaks had frozen assets. Including the charity, Mom's legacy. Collateral. You set me up again? Fury boiled.
No.
Insurance. If you flipped hard, Fed sees it. But you went gray, smart. It's yours now. If you sign off.
Sign. The echo of '08.
What's the catch?
None. Just.
Tell Junior. I tried.
Tried.
The word hung. I nodded. Left without goodbye. Back home. Junior. Built forts from couch cushions, giggling as I invaded. Normalcy's veneer. But Vanessa's texts ramped. Thief. You stole my life.
Then.
Blackout drunk voicemails. He chose you first. Always.
Chose.
The betrayal's core.
Rotten.
November brought Thanksgiving. First family one. Lena joined, bringing pie and war stories. Junior. Turkey carved with plastic knives. Sauce on his cheeks. To new starts, Lena toasted. New starts. But midnight brought the knock.
Cops.
Badges cold. Clara Hawthorne? Warrant. 4. The penthouse assault. Vanessa pressing charges. Full force. Evidence surfaced, the lead said. Knife print. Your prince. Post-prison. Prince.
Ideborn Blubas.
Frame or slip? Ruiz trailed in. Apologetic. She's desperate. But we know it's bullshit. Alibi the kid. Lena's on it. Cell overnight, holding. Not Max, chilled bones. Morning release. But the scare landed. Custody review triggered. I ramped up. Hired a PI, Sal's guy. Ex-NYPD, with my Pentea scraps. Vanessa's trail, scripts from Pill Mills. Consults with Jack's old cronies. Blackmail? Or survival? The PI's drop, photos. Her in a cafe, with trench coat. Paying protection. For Jack's silence on her role. Her role. The paralegal who'd typed the forgeries. Witnessed the lies. Accomplice. Not victim. Confrontation brewed. I called her meet, neutral. A diner in Flushing.
She showed. Gaunt.
No Ray-Bans. What now? Take everything? Truth. I slid the photos across Formica. You're in it too. Her laugh. Brittle. So? We all are. Jack's puppet show. You pulled strings too. Clara. Those approvals. Blind. You?
Eyes wide.
Silence.
Then.
Tears. I loved him. Thought it'd end clean.
Clean. Myth.
For Junior, I said. Drop the charges. Co-parent. Or, I drop yours to CPS. Leverage. Ugly. But real. She nodded. Signed the retraction that afternoon. Custody solidified. Holidays passed in blur. Junior's first snowman. My first debt-free Christmas. But the hum persisted. Jack's fund transfer came, $3 million. Clean now. To a trust for Junior's college. Gift or guilt, I funneled half to the clinic. Renamed Hawthorne Hope. Echoes repurposed. Spring thawed the gray. Junior. Started school. Backpack slung like a cape.
Aunt Elena.
You're my hero.
Hero.
Debatable. But for him, I'd rewrite the code. Summer 26 hit like a fever dream. Humidity turning Queens into a steam bath. Junior. Turned 5 in June. Half-decade mark. Cake with blue icing smeared like war paint. He wanted a superhero party, so Lena rounded up her advocacy crew. Ex-cons turned mentors. Kids from the projects with eyes wide at balloon animals. I grilled burgers on the fire escape. Smoke curling like old regrets. While Junior dashed between legs. Cape flapping. Clara, Lena pulled me aside. Beer in hand. You did it. From bars to Barbies. BBQs, I corrected. But grinned. Yeah. The monitor was off since March. Early release for exemplary. Penteus paid the rent now. Steady gig with a fintech startup sniffing for leaks. Clean work, ironic poetry. But Jack's shadow lengthened. Otisville mail resumed. Not letters. Drawings from Junior. Forwarded with notes. Tell him I love him. Simple. Human. I let them through. Junior. Taping them to the fridge. Stick figure daddies with hearts.
Vanessa? Détente.
Joint pickups. Stilted chats at school gates. He's thriving, she'd say. Voice edged with envy. Her life salvage, therapy. A job at a nonprofit, irony noted. No more Mercedes. The lawsuit crumbled. Assets gone. But she got alimony scraps. Ruiz's visits tapered to holiday cards. Stay gold. The feds closed the book. Senator jailed. Cronies scattered. Hawthorne investments auctioned off. Pensions restored minus the skim. Victims fund. My leaks seeded it. Yet the itch returned. Late July. A news blip. Prison reform bill stalls. White-collar loopholes persist. Jack's face. Archival. Testifying pre-scandal. Second chances build economies. Hypocrite. But the bill? It had shaved my time. Could have helped others. I testified. Lena's nudge. Your voice matters. Hearing room in D.C. Wood paneled like a coffin. Suited palls. Cameras humming. My 5 minutes. I took a fall for love and lies. Lost 15 years. But out, I rebuilt. For reform, not loopholes, but ladders. For the Claras still inside. Applause.
Polite.
A senator, new blood. Not Jack's crony, shook my hand post. Inspiring. We'll call. Call they did. Advisory board gig.
Part-time. Me.
In D.C. quarterly. Rubbing elbows with do-gooders who'd never touched razor wire. Junior. Beamed at airport goodbyes. Bring me a flag.
Auntelin.
Flags and fractures. October brought the anniversary, sentencing day. 09. I marked it solo. Walking the Brooklyn Bridge at dusk. Manhattan's lights mocking across the water. Wind whipped. Carrying ghosts, Mom's whisper. Jack's grin. Vanessa's knife. Phone buzzed unknown. Voicemail. Jack's voice. Collect authorized. Clara. Hearing the bill? Push it. For us.
Us.
The word. Once poison. Now neutral. I deleted. But the seed sprouted. Thanksgiving redux. Full table now.
Vanessa invited, tentative truce.
Junior. Between us. Passing mash like a diplomat. Mommy. Aunt Elena says you're strong too. She met my eyes. Fork paused. Yeah? What else she say? That family's messy. But worth it. Truce held. Christmas. Junior's wish list topped with daddy visit. The ask landed soft. But heavy. I petitioned conjugal?
No.
Contact. Lena warned. Opens wounds. Wounds scarred. But supple now. Hearing. Virtual. Jack on screen from Otisville. Junior. Waving at pixels. Hi. Buddy. Jack's grin, genuine. Cracked by bars. They talk trucks. Superheroes. Junior. Aunt Elena's my hero. But you're coming home. Soon as I can. Parole board fast-tracked his coupe. My leaks greased wheels. Post call. Jack to me. Off mic. Eyes locked. Thanks. For not ending me. Not yet, I quipped. But meant, maybe never. Spring 27. Bill passed. Signed in rose garden pomp. I watched on TV. Junior. On my lap. That's you. And Elena. On the news.
Me.
The fall girl. Feet on ground. Twist came summer. Vanessa's call.
2 Uhr nachts.
Clara. It's bad. Pills again. Junior Swithsitter, come. I drove. Heart lead. Her apartment, Midtown walk up. Far from Tribeca glory, door ajar. Her slumped on couch. Empty bottle. Junior. Safe. Asleep in room. Couldn't, she slurred. The emptiness. I called EMTs. Held her hand, cold, clammy. Hospital wait. Lena arrived. Coffee brigade. She's stabilizing. Overdose. Intentional. Intentional. The echo of my dark days. Junior. Woke. Crawled into my lap. Mommy okay?
Yeah. Buddy.
Resting. Dawn broke. Vanessa lucid in bed. For dripping. Clara. Why help? 'Cause I know the hole. Jack dug it. We climbed out separate. She nodded. Tears tracking. Co-custody? For real? For real. Fall brought balance. Shared weeks. Junior. Shuttling with a smile. Jack's parole hearing loomed, November. I testified. Neutral, he's flawed. But fathered a boy who needs him. Board bought it. Release date, January 28. New Year's Eve. Queen's Stoop. Junior. Counting fireworks. Resolutions.
Aunt Elena.
To let go. Of what? Old scores. He hugged my leg. You're the best. January, Jack out. Supervised meet at park, Vanessa.
Me.
Junior. Running circles.
Jack.
In civvies. Awkward tall. Clara. Jack. Handshake. Electric. Old current. Coffee? Sometime. Sometime. Weeks blurred. Co-parenting tetanus shot. Stiff. Necessary. Jack's job. Consultant. Ironic. Dinners four-way. Talks skirting the past. Junior. Thrived. Oblivious bridge. The real twist? Spring bloom. Central Park picnic. Junior. Napping on blanket. Us three. Awkward triangle. Jack. I never stopped. Loving you both. Vanessa. Idiot. Me. Water under. But the debate? Internally. Heroic recycle. Or fool's forgiveness. World weighed in. Podcast a sequel. Hawthorne Redux. Redemption or recidivism? Forum split. She's weak. Strong as hell. Ending?
Nota ida y bau.
Junior's 8th birthday. 29, cake. Clowns. Us toasting. Jack's grin. Vanessa's laugh. My steady hand on Junior's shoulder. Echoes? Faint hum now. Grudges? Buried deep. Life's messy code, bugs and all. Worth debugging. Or so I tell myself. You decide.